Hello, my Satisfactorians. So today we're back with another creative series. I forgot what I even named this one. It was just like something random. But what we're going to be doing today is continuing and also showing you guys some of the stuff that I've done since the first episode. And so as I told you guys, this series, there is going to be some stuff done off camera. I did a little bit more than I actually expected, but it was one of those things where like I just kept going. And so I just want to show you guys what exactly we're looking at now. So here is the train station that we had last week. And so pretty much all we're doing is I finally just kind of got all of it routed for the most part. So what we're going to look at is we have the pipe ones, which is still the same. I haven't really changed anything there. But then I finally got these little rail connections together. Pretty much the way I just found out you need to do it was, you know, do this one first, get this one ready, and then connect that one to the end, and then vice versa, like connect this one to the second one. So pretty simple. And then I got all the conveyor routed here. Now this one was a little tricky, and that's just because we had to go underneath the railroad track here. So this one was a little tricky, but we got it to work. So we have 8 different conveyor belts. Over here we have a lot more conveyor belts because we had more room to do that. And so what we're doing is actually coming out of both upper and lower what do you call these things, the stations, the freight platforms. So we're coming out the top and bottom for those, so we have a lot more conveyors. And what you can see is we're coming out, making a 90-degree corner into a storage room. So this is where we're going to be storing like all the different ores that we have. But this is not the only one. We have a truck system, which I actually just started, because what we have here using the farming mod, I put these little small greenhouses here. There's bigger ones that I can make, but this was like the perfect area to use these because we also have the train going out underneath us. So going out away from the base and back to its other stations to collect the resources. And then in here we have the truck depots. So what we're doing is going to have all these different trucks. They're going to come in here and drop off all of their resources that they do collect. And what they're going to do is transport on these conveyor belts. We can follow these down. You can see all of them are connecting. And now this storage room is actually bigger than the other one. So you can see we have a lot more containers here. And they're all 4 deep. Same thing on the other ones that we were just at. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are the double tall. So we have twice as much storage. But we're coming out of where that, like underneath the train track conveyors. So we're coming up from over here, and then all 8 conveyors are coming in, lifting up just so we can get splitters in here, because then we're splitting into 2 separate ones. So instead of doing the splitting at the very beginning, we're splitting here as well, which that one is connected. So perfect. One of the things I want to work on now is actually getting the storage for fluids. So that's going to be one of the main things I want to try to focus on. I know this is going to sound crazy. Part of me actually wants to make it the full length of this building here, of our power building. I know that's incredibly crazy to like just scale wise, but I'm like trying to think if we were to do that. Let's see, if we just take, where would they even be? Production, I'm not even sure. The industrial buffers. It's honestly not going to be that much because we're going to need an in-feed, out-feed to each of these. So each one's going to need like its own space like this. So I'm trying to think like if we do that and we double stack these, and we could even sink them down a little bit. So we can dual stack them, because when we dual stack them, they put them up to here. So we might be able to keep, we would be able to get a lot. So that's just the question. Do we do that? Because another cool thing, I haven't quite figured this out yet. So if you guys are using mods, please let me know. But I did get this mod to where like you can actually liquefy raw materials. I'm just not sure how it works yet. So I'm kind of just like trying to figure out what exactly. And some of these windows also like I can't like copy. Sometimes I can with those windows, but sometimes I can't. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of thinking 2 separate things here. So what I'm thinking is I want to have almost a building that's split down the middle. One for raw fluids, so you know, just our normal oil and then water. But then I also want to have another side, like on the other side, fluids that have been refined already. So we have different fluids that we have. Can we actually see what we have? Like how many fluids we would have in here? Doesn't say. I don't know where we can check to see how many fluids we actually need. So that's kind of interesting. So the next question is, do we lower down all of this? Which I'm not sure if we need to have as many entrances as we had with, you know, the power one. That just kind of worked out with just spacing, which is why we added all those entrance is. I'm trying to think how much space we'd really need. Let's figure out first. I had to replace all this glass. We need to figure out how many of the actual storage containers, or whatever they even call them, we're going to actually have at full length here. Yeah, the question is, do we lower it by 1? If we do that, it actually might make our lives a little bit easier with getting pipe in. So if we do that, that actually might work really well. Because our frames are going to be 1 below. We actually might do that. I think that's going to work really well, actually. So what I'm thinking... Oop. Game's frozen. There we go. Every now and then you get like this frame freezing. And then it just goes away a little bit. So what I'm thinking is we'll put another foundation here. But then here is where our storage is actually going to start. That way we can actually make it a little bit taller and have a little bit more room to the ceiling. Because if I can also, I would like to make it, you know, all the buildings have the same height, if not like, you know, 1 wall away. So it's a lot of small stuff like that that I try to think about when I'm organizing and planning out my base. And the advantage of doing it this way is we have our, just think, I mean, if we, where's the entrance? Jesus. I have to get rid of all this. All that work that we did placing this stuff just goes away. But I don't mind it. It's easy to do it, and then it will make all this flow a little bit better. No pun intended, because we're using fluids, but ooh, actually, what I'm thinking, this actually might work out beautifully. Let's look at this. So, this is actually exactly what I was talking about right here. What we're going to do is actually have pipes come in underneath our walkway and then branch off. That way, we're just, because we can't put any buffer tanks here, and we have, ooh, this is actually going to be perfect. We just won't have any stairs, but that's fine. We can put the stairs somewhere else to get down here. And we'll rotate these to come in this way, so we'll leave that open. But what we can also do, do we actually want to do that? So we can do that. Oh, this is actually looking really good so far. Need to copy this one. Make sure they're both centralized. They are. Perfect. So then these buffer tanks we can make too tall. So it doesn't matter which way it goes in and out, it looks like. Right? Yeah, so they can do either. So this would be all fluid storage. Then what we need to have at least is just at least 1 block in between here. So if we do it this way, get that here. And we might need to move our entrances a little bit just to accommodate everything. I think this is overkill. I mean, I could be 100% wrong thinking that, but I feel like this is going to be plenty. So pretty much what I intend is 1 pipe. We have a total of 8 pipes, I believe. 1 pipe, I want to feed at least 8 of these. So 1, 2. So is that going to work? I guess I'll need to look at those numbers. But now we just got to get pipe over to here. So before we do that, let's kind of get some of this started. If we go to, what's that under? I keep forgetting like what everything's under. And I know they're working on hot bars, which is in beta right now, or it's like in the experimental, which I'm so excited for. So if we get, come on, that one there. So that's all connected now. Ah, I didn't connect these yet. Frame droppage. There we go. Connect these two. I think this is actually looking really good. So there's not much walkway space underneath, but that's just to be expected as well. We got 4 pipes going that way. We'd have 4 pipes going the other way. So that's that. So then the next question is, where do we then place the refinery? Part of me is thinking, since we're going to have pipes coming through here, we could have a refinery on that side and then this side as well. That's another option. So we could look at doing that. Like thinking I would need a lot more space just to get conveyor routed, which I still might need all this space, but I'd rather have, you know, room for expansion if I ever did need it. But all right, so if we were to make this turn, so I didn't make that one in the right spot. All right, 8. Hey guys, so this is actually after the video, but I wanted to give you guys, if you made it this far in the video, a quick tour of where we're actually at right now, because I actually did quite a bit off camera, mainly because it actually took so many hours just to get this building finalized. So you guys maybe remember that at one point we were actually planning on having another building for the refinery, but then I found out I didn't necessarily need that. And so what I actually did was I took the other side of the building that we were planning for more storage like after the refinery, and then what I actually did was converted that into our refinery system here. So you can actually see everything's it's not fully up and running because we don't have actual fluids coming in and out or resources coming into all of this yet, but everything is hooked up and is ready. So once we get resources into the base, then we can actually get this up and running. But you can just see the sheer size of this. I mean, it is the full length, it's the same building that you guys saw, but now just instead of storage containers or fluid containers, whatever you want to call it, buffers, we have the actual refineries, and it's actually very, very organized. And the way this is pretty much going to work is I'm not going to do a full-on tour because I actually plan on having that in another video going more in depth and stuff like that, but I wanted you guys to kind of see this first just in case, you know, you did make it this far in the video and you wanted to see what the final product looked like. It looks just like this. So what I actually also did was over here I actually converted these two to water pipelines because we will need water later on. But then what I actually did was, instead of having these all be filled with oil, because I feel like we're at such a maximum with oil that I just think we didn't need this much. So what I did was actually convert these two to water like I said, but then the rest of these, what they're actually doing is taking the stuff from the refineries and then dumping them into here. So we're still getting that storage for the refinery fluids, but we're not just, you know, having a whole other building for it. So that's kind of the idea here. So you can kind of see that these are coming in. We can actually follow these. So the purple is, you know, one of the resources that actually comes out from making, I believe, like the plastic, but then also rubber. And then the orange is fuel. So that's actually what we're doing here. And everything is color coded, so you can see which is making what. So all the orange here is making fuel. And then the rest of these is all either making plastic or rubber. So those are the two items that we're really making here. So pretty much with all three of these, we're just making either plastic, rubber, or fuel is what we're making. And then oil is supplying all of it, so you can kind of see we're coming in this way from this one, and we're supplying 4 each. So that should be enough with how big those fluid buffers are, so we should be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like, guys. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little tour because, like I said, I am going to be making a video touring this, going a little bit more in depth on everything, but I did want to give you guys a small little treat just in case you did make it this far in the video. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys for the next video sometime soon. Bye bye.